Alright, what's up guys? Another new day. Heading to Lowe's. I didn't really get too much done, like I'm not gonna lie, the weather was kind of crappy, like it was supposed to rain, so I really didn't wake up, expecting to work on it, but it didn't rain, so I went out there for a little bit, but it was cold and windy, so I was like, I did a little bit, I got some progress done, but so I had an idea when I was out there. I was like, why don't, because all those 2x6s are like just basically sitting there essentially, like I showed you, they're all just loose. I was like, why don't I just, because they got, all those nails and screws in them that I couldn't get out that are like stripped and whatnot. And I was like, I got the perfect idea. I'll just flip those over and then reattach them. And then that way I got a smooth, clean surface to work with. So I started doing that. Like a few of them, well, they're all nailed in, but a few of them, like the nails just were like rusted away or like, just completely snapped. I'm trying to fix the sun here, but I can't. So there was one of them that like when I pulled it apart, like it kind of splintered and snapped, but it was just a little piece, and like the piece actually stayed there, so I can theoretically still use it. That one's fine. But then there was another one where the wood was just kind of, it wasn't like rotted away, but it was like, it looked like it was a bad piece of wood to start with, back when they built it. So I'm going to get a replacement for that one. I'll probably grab a couple just to be safe. But I was shimming, like, because that whole corner, like towards the garage, like that whole side of the deck was lower. And I figured out, I took the 2x8, the garbage one, the old one, and I was cutting it into, like planks almost or whatever to use as spacers, because like it was that much lower, it was like 2 inches lower. So I put those on and I'm like, oh yeah, that works perfect. I leveled out a few boards. I was like, hell yeah, that's sweet. And then so I put one under each board, and I'm like, okay, some of these boards are perfectly level, some are just maybe 1/8 of an inch higher than they should be, which is no big deal, and then other ones are like 1 inch or more higher, like they're we got like flat ones, and then you got ones that are going up. I'm like, what the hell's the deal? So I stepped back into the other driveway and I looked, and that whole support beam that goes across by the house, it's actually higher, and then it sinks down as it gets out like towards the edge. And so I was like, damn, so I'm gonna have to kind of like rig something up, like taller ones out at the edge, but then thinner as they get towards the house. I'm like, I gotta buy like some shim, like some special wood or something, because all the wood I've got is at least 1 inch thick, which that's too much of a variance. I need like maybe 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch thick stuff to like shim it with, and I'll just stack those up if I need to. But yeah, so I'm running to Lowe's. I'm not even gonna lie to you, I just hate going out of the house anymore. Like I don't like being out of the house. Like it just, with all this stuff going on with people getting sick. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy getting out of the house, but like I hate being at stores, like period. As much as I love going to Lowe's, like I'm not even looking forward to this. And now I guess stores are putting like limits on how many people can be in there, which I understand, that I can respect that. But the thing is, from the pictures and videos that I've seen people posting on Facebook, they're putting fence like gates up, just almost like what you'd see at like a fair, like a carnival or something, just those like metal gates that you can just set down or whatever, to wait in line to get into the store. So to prevent too many people being in the store at once, spreading the stuff around, people are lining up shoulder to shoulder in a confined little line waiting to get in the store. Think about that. Like, really? I think our Walmart's doing that. I think all Walmarts are doing that from what I read online. I don't know. It's hard to take. It's hard to say what's credible anymore from what people share on Facebook, but my Walmart is right across from my Lowe's, so I'll probably be able to look over and see. Okay, let's see. Does Walmart have a line? Let's look. Oh man, they got like a hump in front of the store. I forgot, like out in the grass. I can't see anything. Oh yeah, there's literally a like caution tape. I don't see people standing in line, but I see like a caution tape for a line. All right, Lowe's, you better not be doing the same thing. This has got to be a joke. Definitely more than 50 people in here. What a joke. Got some 8-foot lumber in here, no problem. I literally do not want to leave the house anymore. These people that are out in public are so f***ing inconsiderate and rude. So you guys saw that Lowe's has a line, they're letting 50 people in the store at a time. There is like easily over 100 cars here and nobody waiting to get in the store. Like when you guys just saw me drive by, there were a few people standing there, but none of them were actually waiting. I think besides like 1 or 2 people. All those people by like the lawnmowers and stuff were just out there talking. But I go in the store and there's like 30 people waiting in line to check out because they've got every checkout closed. They've got the lumber closed and the outdoor section closed. And the only one that's open is right there, like the main one or whatever. So you got all these people that's got giant carts of like lumber and, you know, sand and concrete and all kinds of outdoor stuff, you know, and trying to get through these little ass lines. Whoops, let me roll the windows up. And it was just like, that part I got over, whatever. Like, but that's really stupid because now you've got everybody concentrated in this small area versus being able to spread out. And then, two, so they're 2 inches thick, 6 inches wide, but they're 8 feet long, you know, so they're pretty big. And the only cart I could find was like a regular shopping cart, so I had them in there, and they were just angled up, you know, I was keeping them out of the way and whatnot. They were tall enough where they weren't like in anybody's like face or anything like that, but, so we're standing in the line, the checkouts are right here, and the line goes this way, like the front of the line is over here. So I had walked up in like an inconvenient spot, so I went back in the aisle and then like came through at the end of the line. I'm waiting there. And then like 3 or 4 people just walk up in front of other people. Like, we're waiting in line. You know, there's like 6-foot stickers all over the floor of where to stand. These other assholes just walk up and then just literally straight up walk in front of people and walk to like a cash register or the U-scan or whatever. And just like, hello, do you not see 40 fucking people in line in front of you, you inconsiderate asshole? And then on top of that, I made my way, there was like, when I was checking out, there was like 5 people in front of me that all had like big flatbeds with like, one guy had probably 20 pieces of, you know, wood on it like this. Another guy had like probably 10 to 20 bags of like play sand. Another guy had a bunch of concrete. So a bunch of big stuff. So those 3 guys or 4 guys, whatever it was, got into like regular checkouts, you know, where they could come through with the little scanner gun or whatever. And then I noticed, I was like, oh, I'll go, you know, next one that opens will probably be the U-scan, so I'll just go down there because I only got 2 pieces of wood. And they've got the little guns there too that I can use. So I make my way down there. When those guys get in the line, I step up a little bit. And then as I'm going to walk to the U-scan, this older, when I say older, I mean I'm talking like probably mid 40s, late 40s, early 50s woman walks up and just literally walks as I'm walking to it, like I'm 5 feet away from it, going straight at it. She walks up and just sets herself down and starts scanning. I'm just like, it took everything in me. I'm like, just pick and choose your battles. Just, you know, what's arguing gonna do? I wanted to cuss her out so bad though. And then, so I finally get up there, and there's 4 of them. Only 3 of them were open, and I'm on like the back corner one, and the customer service little desk or whatever, like where the person stands there and like watches them, is up like in the opposite corner where I'm at in the front. The one that was open on this side, there was a family of like 5 that was trying to use it, and something happened, and they had the manager out there, and they were all bitching at each other, you know, trying to say, oh, it went through, but it didn't go through, and it's paid for, but it's not paid for. So they canceled it out there and closed that machine out because something was wrong with it. So they went up to like the little, you know, kiosk part or whatever, and they just all spread out, like as if nobody else is in the store, and there's, you know, people constantly trying to leave. I'm like, literally looked at me pushing my cart, coming at them, and just continued to stand there. I'm like, excuse me, I need to get through here. And then as I'm like, when I was checking out, I was waiting for the card reader. Took forever. It took like a minute straight. They're standing there. There's a guy like standing by the broken use scans with a flatbed with like a ton of wood on, all kinds of lumber and stuff. And then, but he's far enough back, like, and he's just standing there. So I'm like, okay. So I get done, and I kind of walk up to those people. I'm like, you know, excuse me, I'm trying to get out of here. So they take off, like they just up and left, didn't move out of my way. They just started walking away. And then, so I start walking, and then this guy with the lumber cart is so damn close to me. Like the wood in his cart was 5 inches away from like knocking me in the thigh. I'm like, dude, I swear to God, if you hit me right now, I'm not a person that fights or anything, but I'm like, I swear to God, if you hit me, I might lose my shit right now. Back the f off. Man, I'm sorry to bitch so much, but point being, just like I was saying when I was going to Lowe's, I'm like, every time I go to the store now, the people that I'm around are such asshats, I can't stand it. It's only 3:32, and I'm like, you know what? I'm done for the day. I got the back seat folded down because I got this lumber in here. It sounds like I got a window open. It is loud back there. And I hate to be bitching about it because, truthfully, I shouldn't even be out right now. I'm not, you know, I'm not even going to justify it. This is not an essential project. But damn, you know, if you're going to go out, just be smart about it. Like, Okay, had to take a break. As you guys saw, I got a decent amount done. Kind of. I mean, not like a whole lot, but getting a few of the new deck boards on was a nice accomplishment for me, I guess. It's been sitting just in poor shape for like 3 or 4 days now. I was starting to like lose interest in it, but you know, seeing a few new deck boards on, I'm like, all right, now I want to get this stuff done. I don't know if you guys saw in the time lapse, but I'll go back out there in a second. I had 4 boards, I think. They are the 10-foot boards. 10 or 12 foot, I don't remember. I'm having a brain fart. I think they might be, they gotta be 12. Because I think, I think it's 12 foot out. I had only bought 4 of those for some reason. 3 of them are, you know, really good, solid straight wood. And then the 4th one curves like 2 inches. Like when I line it up against the other boards, it goes like this and then it curves out. And there's like a 2-inch gap at the other end. I'm like, that's not even minor. You know, if it was like a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch or something, I'd be like, you know, whatever. But it's enough to, you know, catch your shoe and twist your ankle in or something. I'm like, really? That's what I was saying. I think I said in another video. I'm like, man, Lowe's wood kind of sucks. But I think I can get that stuff in my car. Like, I got those 8-foot boards in my car with the trunk closed. So, you know, 4 foot hanging out the trunk, that's no big deal. I got, you know, some bungee straps I could use. I'll probably just, tomorrow, of course, they're closed right now, 7 o'clock. Oh, God, I don't want to. Actually, it might not be so bad tomorrow being a weekday. Well, hopefully. I don't know. But go grab a few more of those tomorrow and just kind of like, I'll probably, well, actually after this, I'm going to go out there and try to rip some more up. And basically like once I get to the door, I'm going to leave them. Well, I'm not going to leave them, but like I'm going to stop at that point, whether that's tonight or, you know, I mean, that would be nice to get there tonight, but whether that's tonight or tomorrow or whatever. And then I'm going to count how many I need. And before I rip those up, go to Lowe's and get that amount of boards. That way, once I rip those up, I'll I'll spend however long right then and there putting those back on, putting the new ones on. That way, you know, we can still let the dogs out because that's also what kind of hinders the project a little bit. That's why I want to kind of like replace them as I go versus just ripping them all off at once or whatever. That's the only way we let our dogs outside because going out front, there's no fence or anything and they can't run around. Well, yeah, I just had a quick bite to eat. I was sitting there, I was outside, I'm like, damn, I'm hungry. It's, you know, it was like 6:30 or something like that. I was like excessively hungry, if that makes sense. I'm like, why am I so hungry? And then I was sitting there watching Ozark. I'm like, when I woke up this morning, I never had breakfast or anything because we were going to get takeout from that little Coney Island by our house. And we never did that. I'm like, oh yeah, well, that makes sense. I've been up for 7 or 8 hours now. I haven't even eaten anything. I had some like a sweet and sour chicken frozen thing and some macaroni and cheese, so I'm good now. No more boards to screw on, so I'll probably just go rip some off. Back to the deck. This is the worst part too, like ripping these boards off sucks. But yeah, I don't know if I didn't finish that story, like once I get to the door, like here's the door, once I get to like here, I'm gonna stop. And then, you know, because I can still open the door, let the dogs out, keep like, I cut that 2x8 like propped up so the dogs can't like go left. But I'll stop, count how many boards I need, you know, go to Lowe's that day or the next day, buy that many boards, you know, so I have enough to finish. And then the next day, I'll start ripping them up again and, you know, be able to replace that whole section, you know, all at the same time. Not have to worry about like, not have to worry about like, oh, I didn't get enough or, you know, I can't get it done or something like that. So yeah, I think that's about it. I got to put the 2x8s on the outside still. I'm kind of cutting the long one off on the outside as I go because it makes it easier to rip those boards off. I have to cut on the garage side. All those 2x6s come out to like a different length. So like the original board was actually crooked and I'm like, what the hell, man? These people did this deck so shitty. So I'm going to trim all those. I think what I'm going to do is prop that board up on like jack stands so it can like sit up there. And I'm going to screw it into the outer one. Or, no, that wouldn't make sense. I'm just gonna find the. I guess what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find the shortest board, the shortest 2x6, and then cut all the other ones to match that. That way it's straight, and I can screw it into each one, so it's got plenty of support. Because I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna do longer steps on it, and then especially on that outer one, I'm gonna do a lot of. I don't know if I'm gonna do, like, I've been tossing around the idea of doing like one long step, and now I've thought about doing two 4-foot steps, and then in the middle plant like a little tree or something like that. Like, I think that would be kind of cool, you know, do rocks around it. I don't know, we'll see. I might do that like on either corner. So one thing you'll realize about me when I'm doing a project, like, I don't plan it out. Well, no, I plan it out, and then as I'm working on it, I change my idea 50 times. But yeah, back out there. I mean, that's like a 3-inch gap.